Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's been a minute since I did a video for the free side people, but again, I've been doing a lot more content for my Advantage members because again, they're the ones who are paying for my service, right? And so again, if you are interested in the Advantage side, go to the Cryptosomniac website, go to the products page right here, all right? And then join Advantage right there, all right? And you will see all these gains come to fruition for you. Okay. In addition, you will see access to all these locked channels right here. Okay. These are the channels that are available for our Advantage members. All right. Now, let me show you guys something that we've been doing for the past, couple days. We got into a fantastic long position I guess it was 24 hours ago or 48 hours ago. Got into an entry right around 98.05. All right. So basically what we were looking at, folks, is we're looking at this particular chart right here. Okay. We were looking at this movement. All right down here. Okay. And I stated that if we were in this reaccumulation phase, this deviation down here, right? If I wanted to long, I wanted to see a break back inside this range, this trading range that you see right there. Let me highlight it for you a little bit more. All right. So that trading range that right there, that green one, I wanted to see a breakback inside that trading range for me to consider long. And if I wanted to go short, right, I wanted to see these lows being taken out. Again, this was all yesterday. But really what happened was price, broke back inside the trading range, right? And then after that, it kind of just swiftly just took off. And so we actually went long right around this area right here. And we just rode this thing all the way up to 10,350. I cut down half my position yesterday, okay, and I took profit, and I made some really great profit, really healthy. But here's the thing, right? Most of you who are trading these markets, you're not able to understand when to take profits, how to be able to, you want to be able to catch the top, the tippy top of most of your trades that you're in. But folks, you really don't need to, right? I mean, I sold off most of my position, or at least half my position, around 10,330, right? Price is already $40 above my previous sell. And so does it matter to me? Not really, right? I mean, do I wish I could have sold like right here where price is? Yeah, of course, but that's not the point, right? You will never know exactly where the top of the price is. So when you take consistent gains out of the market, right, that is what matters. That is what makes you a successful trader, okay? Not just being able to aim for these kinds of tops or aim for the bottoms. And once you start to understand the technicals of how we trade as a community, then you start to realize that, okay, this is why our community makes these consistent gains that you see over and over again with these guys, okay? So with our positions, it's very clear, right? When I get into positions, I make it very abundantly clear what I'm doing to the community. Again, I can't give them financial advice and tell them, hey, you should do this. But this is exactly how I lay it out. I say, okay, well, it looks like, I'm seeing this in the scenario, right? And I'll show you exactly what I saw, okay? I stated that on the 4-hour chart, I was seeing something like this, all right? There's this, where is it here? So this was what we were seeing yesterday, okay, when we were at this price action. Because remember, this had not happened, right? So the retrace was from this bottom to this top, and that was a 382 retrace. In addition to that, what we were seeing was something like this, okay? So we had this trend line like this, something like that, I think. Okay, like that, and like that. Okay, so we're saying that, price was not only bouncing off this trend line, right, very close to bouncing off, but it was also coming off a 382 fib. And this gave me an easy opportunity to look out to my 15-minute chart and I say, okay, well, price is coming back inside the range. I'm seeing 4-hour confirmation stating that I'm bouncing off the 382 fib and a nice trend line. The daily chart still looks really good to me, right? Oops, that's the wrong daily. The daily chart still looks good to me, right? We're seeing higher lows, and then higher highs, right? And then the big resistance level was still 10,500. And so for the most part, we got to ride that movement all the way from 9,800 all the way to 10,300 mids, right? And same with our altcoins, right? We actually have been trading alt leverage as well. We took some ship perps right here, ship perp trades. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but this is the FTX ship perp. Now, because I don't have time to look at 15 different altcoins, I essentially use instruments like the ship perp leverage on FTX to be able to get a basket of exposure to altcoins. Okay, so it's basically tracking the movement of multiple altcoins, and it gives me one easy ticker to essentially trade under, right? And so that one gave us some fantastic profit too. So let me show you guys that as well. And by the way, that trade is fully closed. I took my entire profit right there on 823, and I'm going to look to re-enter if this thing comes back around and gives me a nice support tap right there and gets ready to bounce off. Okay, now again, right over here I entered way down here, right? I took my first profit right there, second profit right there. And you're probably wondering, oh well, you missed this whole movement. You could have just held on from here all the way up here. That's another 10-12%. See, this is where most people go wrong, and this is why the lessons of the previous bear markets or other markets are still elusive to other people, because they are not understanding how to get over their emotions and their greed. Okay, and their wholly bullish bias, where they think that, oh well, alt season is still yet to come and we want to see 3x and 5x and 10x. Folks, I'll tell you one thing: you will never see the days of the 2017 bear market, or I'm sorry, the bull market. Okay, those 5x or 10xers, forget about it. It may come to a few coins here and there, but forget about the fact that you will ever see those days. Okay, you need to trade the market and get smarter of how to trade the market as is. Okay, having 20% gains and 40% gains is a pretty great thing. Just remember that markets, for the most part, don't give you those kinds of gains. Okay, so be happy that you're getting this in crypto, right? Stop being greedy and thinking about, well, I want to aim for the top and I think XRP or some other shitcoin is going to give me a 3x by the end of the year. No, no, no. You need to stop thinking like that. That's how you're going to bankrupt yourself. Okay, what you need to think like is a person who is understanding the market as a whole. Okay, so number one, you need to understand where crypto is in its fundamental state, meaning that, are these coins, these projects, do you really think a lot of them are worth millions and billions of dollars? Personally, I don't think so. Okay, now if you have some inside information, you think that XYZ company is working with like Amazon or Google, okay, fine, hold on to your shitcoin for the next 5 years. It doesn't matter. But for the most part, this is almost eerily reminiscent to the internet bubble. And for those of you who are not aware of how the internet bubble popped, all right, 95 to 98% of those companies, which again, were just like crypto, there were hundreds and hundreds of them, okay, they all went from $10,000, $15,000 companies to millions of dollars, some even billions, basically in the span of a few months, just like crypto did. And then they bled out over the next following years, same like crypto, right? In 2017 we saw the bull market hype, and then now you can see a majority of these coins that are down almost 80-90%, right? If we start looking at NEO, this used to be one of my favorite projects to trade, right? Look at this thing, okay? Let's look at it from a weekly perspective, okay? It's down from the all-time high up here, right there. It's down almost 92%, okay? So the movements that you see right now, and you think that, oh, well, NEO is going to come back around, and it's going to create this W bottom, and it's going to head back up all the way. I mean, do you really think that NEO is a company that's going to blast off from here 1,000% back to its previous high, and then on top of that make another new high for another, like, I don't know, 500 to 1,000%? Come on, you got to be real with this, right? They've had their day, they're done. Okay, these are all just echo bubbles right here. You're going to just see this over and over again, into the point where there's really no one left to trade these garbage assets except bots. And for the most part, I'll be honest, these assets like this are already being traded by bots. They're being wash traded. They're being sold to the greater fool, which is the new person who's coming into crypto, and he sees all these projects like others did in 2017, and they think, oh, well, this is really cheap. The all-time high is at 187 bucks. So if I buy now, I can ride it to its all-time high for 1,000% gain. That's exactly what most average retailers are thinking. So I'm here to tell you to stop. Don't think that way. You do not want to be caught bag holding, okay? Now, if you really want to learn how to trade and you want to be able to understand how to manage your risk, take money off the table, set your stops properly, take profits, this is the community that you need to join. Okay, I will not BS you. I will not sugarcoat things. I am someone who trades for a living. Okay, I do this day in and day out. So my life depends on me making money in the market consistently. All right, we also have the equities markets that we trade in as well. Okay, I trade Forex on the side, but to be honest, I haven't been trading Forex as well because honestly, crypto is just such an easy market to trade. I mean, it's by far, some of the easiest technical analysis that you need to get into this market and get out and take profit. Okay, it really does not require a whole lot of fundamentals analysis because there's not a whole lot happening. There's no earnings reports. There's no management that I need to look out for. There's no upcoming, release dates or new product dates or anything, right? So for the most part, I mean, it's wholly an asset that's traded on technicals and some fundamental, reasoning here and there, like halving coming up in May 2020, right? Those are really the only things that I could think of. Aside from that, it's a pretty easy asset to trade, okay? So anyway, we've got Bitcoin in still what looks to me like a nice ascending parallel channel, okay? And that parallel channel comes from way back here, right? That $6,800 low. So we had that touch right there at the top of the channel, bottom, and now we're looking for another touch at the top of the channel. Okay, that could be around, if we go straight up in the next couple of days, it could be around 11,200, 11,300, okay? Now, if we're looking at this high and this high being touched, okay, I'm also watching this trend line right here, okay? That trend line could pose resistance and we could hit that trend line around 11,000 if we go straight up, today or tomorrow, okay? And with the way the market is moving, right, if we're looking at this market right now, aside from this 10,500 resistance right there, 10,585 right there, there's really not a whole lot holding us down, to be honest. I mean, there is the 618 fib retrace that I see, okay? And that's definitely a place that I want to take some heavy profit right around this area. And that comes from this high of 13,920 to this low of $6,400. That retracement comes back up to about 11,000. Let me zoom into that a little bit, 11,000 to 11,300. So it'd be wise, to take profit in that particular area, all right? Aside from that, I mean, if we start looking at the daily chart, like I said, other than 10.5 and that 10.8, the 11,000 marker, it's really not a whole lot else that's holding us back. You could make the argument that from this 20,000 high to this lower high around 13.9, we have another trend line, right, that comes up, and that meets us, if we go straight up today or tomorrow, around 11,900 or so, okay? So we could meet that descending trend line that's coming down from the 20K high to the 13.9K low and touch it in the next, I don't know, couple of days, maybe a week or two, okay? But for the most part, what I'm seeing in this market is we're coming to the point where we're going to get probably a blow off top, kind of like we do over here. Most markets, when they're starting to top off, right, they usually have like a blow off top like this, okay, where prices just keep rocketing and rocketing, and people just start getting overly exuberant up here. And they're the ones who are essentially buying into what the professionals are selling. And so if you want to understand exactly when to take profit, number one, look at this trend line. Number two, start putting your ears to the ground and listening for the sentiment around the crypto market. You will hear your random Uber driver or your barber or some random, cousin or uncle of yours telling you, hey, have you heard of Bitcoin? You should buy it. And when you start hearing that, might be time to get out. Okay. That's almost, an old tried and tested rule where when the average person starts telling you to buy, it's time to get out. Okay. So the point is, right now, I think we're coming for that blow off top. Okay. Probably at the highest around 11.9, 11.8. As per my 618 fib retrace, like I just showed you, we might be going off around 618 to 65%, which is that golden pocket ratio, around 11,000 and 11,200. And then if we start looking at the daily chart again, folks, I mean, things are looking pretty good. I don't see any signs of weakness, at least yet. We had a very strong bullish engulfing candle right there as we had that previous daily, bearish candle. And now what we need to do is just close today's daily above either the close of this candle right here, or even better, the high of this candle right here, which is around 10,400. Okay, so we still got about 12 whole hours to go in today's daily, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, now the CME chart has already broken above that previous high that we saw in October, right? So that's this area right here that we're looking at, that 10,500 area right there, which the derivative markets or the spot markets for Bitcoin have not broken above. The CME markets and the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust have already broken above. So this is actually a very positive sign in my opinion. And I think these could be leading indicators for what could be coming next for BTC, maybe in the coming day or two, okay? Because these markets do not tend to sort of overshoot themselves unless the Bitcoin traditional markets like spot and derivatives market is not going to trail it, okay? Let's see, aside from that, we've been also trading EOS. Let's see, EOS has given us fantastic returns so far. I got in somewhere around this pennant right here. So if we measure it back from here, took out, I think, just about half my position this morning. So that's a 30% gain. I have another, 5-6% left to go for that 559 target that I have. I guess if you want, you can get into that. But again, not financial advice. Do your own research. I got in sort of early to EOS. I obviously didn't get in down here. But again, gains are gains, okay? You should not be shooting for, those 100, 200% gains or 5x or whatever, okay? You need to understand how compounding works. When you make 20% on one asset and you move that over to another one and you make another 10%, then you move down to another one, then you make another 30%. Guys, you are making tremendous amounts of money, okay? And if you get greedy because you're not making 80, 90%, chances are you're not meant for this. You're not meant for the long haul. And more than likely, you're the kind of person who's probably going to give it all back to the market like most people did in 2018 and 2019, okay? So understand how to tame your emotions, how to tame your greed, and trade this market with proper technicals, okay? Again, if you do not understand technicals, go to cryptosomniac.com, hit the products page, either buy my technical analysis course or join Advantage, because these are skills that you will acquire and you will use in many markets for many years. Crypto is not the only market that uses technicals, folks. Every single market does, okay? I'm gonna show you guys something, okay? I picked up Amazon, all right over here, okay? Let me show you guys real quick. Okay, I picked up Amazon right there, all right? In this particular area right here, okay? Now, from here up, I'm already up 18% or 17%. And you're probably thinking, oh my God, Amazon is such an overvalued stock right here. Yeah, I think it is too. But here's the thing, it had a fantastic technicals pattern playing out, which was a cup and a handle and ready to blast off, okay? I didn't know any other way to look at this and say, this is a bullish, movement. As soon as it starts breaking out, I'm going to start doubling down. And so far, the position has already given me about 20%. And by the way, my target is all the way up here. Okay. Again, I don't want you to take this trade, as something that you should get into. This is what I did for my technical analysis work. And you can see I already made about a good, 10, 15% off of it. Okay. So you can see Amazon and Equities, right? It's a stock, has already given me good returns based on the same skill set that I use for crypto. It's the same thing, technicals, okay? Aside from technicals, I use this as well, Excel charts. It's a, we call it L3 data, which is footprint statistics, being able to understand, in detail what's happening in terms of each particular candle, the bids and the asks on each side, what's happening with the delta over here, positive or negative, what's happening with the CVD, which is the cumulative volume delta, how exactly is price moving, who is moving price with how much money. And so this is the kind of information analysis I put out and explain to my community every single day, okay? And the videos that you see right now are just, 10% of what I do through the day. You can see right here yesterday, right? I did a nice evening video conference, a live session with my Advantage members. I do this pretty much every day, every evening, to show people by the end of the day, where exactly are we in relation to price? What kind of profit markers am I looking at? Where am I moving my stop to? What other assets am I looking at to trade, etc. Okay, if you want this kind of detail and you want this kind of information with these kinds of updates, as you can see, right? I mean, there's multiple updates, through the day that keep you informed. And so you don't have questions to make unwise decisions. Okay, you don't need to FOMO into trades. You don't need to make bad decisions in terms of your trading account. I will show you exactly what I'm doing. So maybe you can use that as a guideline for, what you may want to do or what you may not want to do. Okay. So anyway, come join Cryptosomniac, folks. Advantage membership right there. A Discord link is below in the YouTube description. Kudos for those of you who are making gains in this market. Please do take profit when you see fit. And I will see y'all soon. All right. Cheers.